Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, Grease Trap.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Grease Trap. I was just here eating a breakfast sandwich in front of Scotty. Made myself a little sandwich.
I mean, still like, oh my God. Hey, Scotty, what's up?
Scotty's like, why didn't you make me one?
Why don't you make me a fucking breakfast sandwich, bitch? You know I'm coming here, teacher. Why didn't you even offer it? One thing if you're like, hey, man, I'm making one. Do you want one? I was like, nah, fuck that. I don't want a breakfast sandwich.
Figured you ate on the way, bro.
You figured I ate on the fucking way, TJ? I didn't eat. You know, I didn't eat on the way today, TJ. I didn't do it, man. And what the fuck? Now you eating a fucking sandwich in front of me?
You know, I know you.
And you know what, dude? In this last week, I brought you half of a sandwich. Man, I did you a fucking solid. And this is how you fucking repay me, man. You think it's fucking funny, TJ? Oh, no, I don't want your fucking... You want to cross your tail, man? Fuck you, TJ. God damn, dude. So what a fucking piece of shit you are. Like, I mean, me and Paul just show up, you know, we're just like, hey, what's up, TJ? And it's like, Paul's got to hear you. Paul's like, hey, TJ.
I mean, like when we were saying hello to... He said hi to me. He's like, hey, Paul, what's up? And I started talking... And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, oh, I got Paul muted. I can't even hear him. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's true. Paul's like, so guys, how's the weather? And she's like,
I just thought you were being like, you know, quiet or whatever. I don't know. Fuck. I didn't see your mouth
moving. When am I ever fucking quiet?
That's true. I don't know.
I find Paul's quiet when he's just done with the shit.
I'm just an oblivious dick. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you are. Because you got the tism.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You got the fucking tism, teacher. You're just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
A little touch of the tism in there.
A little touch of the tism.
Got a touch of the tism.
I actually know an autism test you could take, TJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to take an autism test?
Haven't I done this before?
You probably have. Knowing you probably have.
I mean, I feel like I did this on DP one time.
Did you?
Yeah, because remember, Ben used to be always like, you got tism, you got tism. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll take a fucking test. And I did, and it was like, you might have the tism.
I don't agree with that asshole on much, but yeah, I agree on that. You definitely have the tism.
Little touch of the tism. That's okay.
Well, where's the test, Scotty?
A little touch of the tism is the spice
it's
of
like,
life.
I don't remember the fucking thing. Just type in autism test. I think we can find it from there.
If we do this, though, then TJ's going to turn into one of these guys like, you know, every great person in history had a touch of the tism. You know what I mean? Like Julius Caesar, touch of the tism. Socrates, touch of the tism.
Yeah, they're all autism. Okay, this is the one I did.
You did this? What? Do you have the tism?
Einstein's got a touch of the tism.
They said I was Aspie.
That's just tism now.
I know, but I don't know. It didn't say the tism. I can't claim it.
Tism, bitch.
I can't claim it.
The only one that we don't know for sure has the tism or not is me. But I think it's pretty, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's not apparent. Maybe I do have a little bit of the fucking goddamn tism.
All right. That's fair enough. Paul, do you prefer to read non?
Yeah, let's Paul take it.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Maybe I'm autistic. Like, maybe I need to know.
Fuck, okay, yeah.
Do you prefer to play
wait a minute, hold on. This is like ADHD.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, what the hell, TJ?
Wait a minute. Well, okay. It's all right.
That's just
it's just on.
You saw ADD in the fucking.
It says inside the ADHD mind. That's what it says. So I was just.
Well, there's a lot of people that believe, by the way, Paul, that ADHD and autism are like connected. So
yeah, I guess there's like a strong like comorbidity, right?
Yeah. So if you have one, you probably have the other. Is what they're saying. Well, so you might have both.
I definitely have ADHD. I'm like medicated for that. So anyway, do you prefer to play individual games like sports? And sports like golf, where everyone works themselves instead of team sports. So, like, basically, would you rather work if you're playing a game? Would you rather be part of a team, or would you rather be on your own?
Well, it's so hard to know how to. So very often, what does that mean? Do I like to play individual games more often?
Do you prefer to play individual games than sports?
Very often, sometimes.
Never. So I'd say sometimes. Like sometimes I want to play by myself. Sometimes I like playing on a team.
Is your memory like a steel trap, even for facts that you don't fully understand?
No.
No way.
Or should I say rarely?
Rarely. I mean, every once in a while I'll remember some crazy shit. But yeah, no, I'm pretty absent.
Are expressions like curiosity killed the cat or don't count your chickens before they hatch odd to you?
No.
So never.
This is like a really weird phrasing.
It is.
Why would the answer to this be often? You know, who would say it? Like, who gets asked like, Are expressions like curiosity killed the cat or don't count your chicks before they hatch
TJ,
odd to you? Often.
You must just answer the questions for the test.
All
TJ.
right. I'm just saying this is
You must
shitty
not question the
Scotty.
test, TJ.
Do you enjoy inventing your own words and expressions that might seem quirky to others?
I mean, I think I kind of do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'd say sometimes. Yeah.
No, and Paul, I think that's true.
Do you prefer to read nonfiction over fiction?
Is there like? See, I feel like I enjoy both. You know what I mean? I don't really have a preference. So I guess
Sometimes
sometimes.
it's probably the other one. Do your family members lovingly refer to you as the eccentric professor of the family?
I wish.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That's Paul, our eccentric professor.
Yeah, he's the eccentric fucking aloof genius of the family. Like, no. That's
do you
Paul.
talk-
He's the fat stoner black sheep of the family. Yeah.
Do you talk to friends at a party the same way you would talk to coworkers in the office?
Yeah.
So often?
I would say
guess,
often,
or-
yeah.
Have you always wanted a best friend but never found one?
Very often, I've always wanted a best friend, but never found one. Never, whatever. I just
That's a
don't,
silly
I
question.
don't really concern
Are
myself.
you always the first one to notice when a friend has gotten a haircut or made a small change to their appearance?
Rarely. I'm actually pretty bad at catching that usually.
Do people say you speak like a robot? I'm just going to say no.
Yeah.
Are
your
you
people.
always bumping into things or tripping over your own feet?
I am kind of clumsy, so I'd say
Yeah.
I'd say often probably.
Yeah, I would say from my observations of you. When you're having a conversation with someone, do you prefer to look at the wall, their shoes, or anywhere but directly into their eyes? I would say you make pretty good eye contact.
No, I'm rarely probably.
I'm gonna say rarely. Maybe there's sometimes you might be a little shy about it, but not often. Even when you're in a quiet place like the library, do you find yourself making involuntary noises like clearing your throat over and over?
No.
Think about your daily routine. Would you say you follow the same schedule every day of the week and don't like unexpected events?
I would say that I am a creature of habit for sure, and I can get into a cycle of existence. So I'd say often, yeah.
Okay.
Are you really, really good at skills like math or music, but struggle to
No.
succeed in other areas?
The inverse.
Did bullies target you in grade school?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't super bullied, but I was, I had my bullies.
You're a minor character in the bullying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got bullied every now and then. Do you have trouble understanding what people mean when they say they feel embarrassed for someone else?
No.
I don't think you
No,
do.
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right.
Submit.
Blah, blah, blah. Please.
So you got 22 out of 68.
The higher the point, the higher the likelihood of you show. So you're pretty low. I don't think there's any based on this.
Yeah, I think you have to be over 28.
Based on this internet test, it doesn't seem like you have any sort of like
I got
risk factor for it.
So I took this test and I got 27.
Okay.
I got 27 on this test. But I mean, like, Paul doesn't really strike me as autistic, though.
No.
I've never really had that vibe off Paul where it's like Paul doesn't know what's going on. Like, usually he'll probably know what's going on emotionally with people better than I
Paranoid
will.
schizophrenic.
Oh yeah, it deranged psychopathic killer
Right.
for
I mean,
sure.
like, total sociopath.
Checks all those
narcissist,
boxes.
I mean, all
ADHD, autistic, not really.
But not autistic.
Yeah.
Definitely don't have the tism. Everything
Pretty
else.
much every mental disorder other than autism he's got, but that one.
I mean, Paul's brain just couldn't handle it. It's like, look, dude, I got enough shit to deal with. Can't deal with this one. Sorry.
yeah, we all
I'm just a garden variety hypomanic depressive, dude. Everybody knows this about me.
Yeah. It is true.
Pretty simple.
So true.
What about you, TJ? I want to see you take that test. How many points do you get
do?
out of that
Okay.
test? Yeah. So if
All right,
Scotty
I'll
got a
take it.
27, we may as well have you take it too. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
I already
now.
know my score, so I can just tell you
I mean,
that.
he could be lying though. You never know.
Well,
Bullshit, I'm lying.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that Scotty wouldn't feel the need to make something like that up, but whatever.
Do I prefer to play individual games? I don't really play games, but if I did, yeah, I definitely prefer to be on my own.
For sure.
Even when you're in a quiet place like a library, you find yourself making involuntary noises.
Yep.
Often. Do you talk to friends
What is
at a
that?
party?
What do you mean?
if TJ's by himself or with just
Like I'll be like,
yeah, if I'm hanging out with TJ, Paul, it'll be this sometimes fun.
But is that involuntary?
I mean, I don't.
does
like,
it.
I don't
He
consciously.
does it all the time.
I don't
Dude.
consciously do it, so I guess so.
All right.
Paul, I mean, you know TJ, dude. Like, maybe you
I've
didn't
heard
see
him
that side
do
of
it.
him.
I've just never thought it was involuntary. I just always thought it was TJ.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I could stop, but like, I don't have to think about doing it to do it. Like, it'll just
Got it.
happen.
No, I've been around your whole. You've done it your whole
Which
life.
I think is what they mean.
Yeah, you've done it your whole life. Yeah, that 100%.
I don't even really understand this question. Do you talk to friends at a party the same way you talk to coworkers
Like, do you
in the
talk?
office?
Like, do you talk to
Well,
everyone the
this
same?
this is tough for you because you never spent a whole lot of time in an office setting or
Yeah.
having coworkers and shit that are typical.
I'm just gonna say never because I don't really know. When you're having a conversation with someone, you prefer to look at the wall, their shoes, or anywhere but directly in their eyes. I would say sometimes. Have you always wanted a best friend but never found one? Nope. Did bullies target you in grade school? I would say sometimes they did. I was too big to really get super bullied. Do you enjoy inventing your own word? Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. Do you prefer nonfiction over fiction? I would say rarely. I usually like a fictional story more. Are you always the first one to notice when a friend has gotten a haircut or made a small change to their appearance? I think I do. I don't really mention it.
Man. Okay, well, maybe don't mention it.
I don't really care what people do with their appearance, but I do notice. Do people say you speak like a robot? I don't think I do.
No.
Our expressions-
Whatever, TJ. You sound like this.
I am TJ. How are you doing today? Are expressions like curiosity kill the cat and don't count their chickens before they hatch odd to you? I mean, they're too ingrained in society to really seem all that weird. Maybe if I heard them out of nowhere.
So is it like is that one of the ones where like a profoundly autistic person would be like, yes, because it's like,
What are you talking about?
That's one of the things.
What does
about,
a cat have to do with this?
That's one of the things about autism that I've never like been able to really like, I guess, empathize with, because I can't understand how that plays out in a human mind. It's like autistic people, I guess, have trouble with metaphor.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because I mean,
Like,
they want to take it literally. They're like, "What does a
Right.
cat have to do with this?"
Well,
Right.
I think
Chickens.
I think
don't
that's part of the
understand.
evaluation here is how you interpret it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's probably part of a conscious effort to get people to be like, that is weird, or like whatever trick. I mean, like obviously these people study autism a lot more than we do, so they actually know what what the test is hoping to elicit.
So I have
Right.
a terrible memory for some things and a great memory for others. I don't have any control over it, but a lot of fucking weird random shit does stick with me, and a lot of stuff that's probably important just slides.
Here's like
right
your
out.
empathy question, TJ.
Do you have trouble understanding what people mean when they say they feel embarrassed for someone else? No, not really. Maybe sometimes I do. I don't know. Are you always bumping into? Oh God, I'm like the clumsiest person on the face of this earth.
That's true.
Chelsea says I'm like a tornado, just like going through the house. Everything I do, I like slam things. I'm always breaking shit just because I'm too rough with it. Do your family members lovingly refer to you as eccentric professor? I mean, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Get out of here. Are you really, really good at skills like math and music but struggle? No, not really. I don't have no math or music skills. Stop it. Think about your daily routine. Would you say you follow the same schedule? Hell no. I definitely do not. I mean, I kind of have to for work, I guess, but 24. You're more autistic than me, bitch.
Damn. No autism.
You're
for
the
you.
artist here.
Cool.
Damn.
So, get out of here,
Who
Scotty.
knew?
You autistic little bitch.
You didn't discriminate against me, TJ?
Yeah.
Openly? You know what? That's a violation of federal law.
Fucking shut up, Spurg Lord.
You just
I'm going to
committed
create an
a
uncomfortable
fucking
workplace environment for you, bitch.
You just did,
Hostile
yeah.
environment. Thank you.
hostile work
Hostile
environment.
work environment.
Keep it going, TJ, because I want more evidence.
You're
dude.
Oh,
committing
man,
a
you-
federal hate crime right now.
Thank you, TJ.
I'm going to fucking treat you like shit from now on, Scotty, now that I know you're autistic.
Yeah. Bully him every day about it, TJ, and see how quickly.
Get out of here, Scotty, you fucking loser.
Why do you tell me to get out of here, TJ?
Because you're a loser, Scotty. I hate you because you're autistic.
Thank you.
I discriminate against you specifically on the basis of your fucking higher autism test score.
Good.
And in fact, I'm going to withhold funds from you and deny you basic
Good.
human rights while you're
Thank
here.
you. I appreciate that.
You're no longer allowed to use my bathroom. You have to pee outside like a dog.
Good.
Let's get Peyton to take that test.
Damn,
And
dude.
just break the test.
Just send him the link.
flames.
Just send him the link right now and be like, "Hey Peyton, could you take this test and get back to me and let me know what your score is?"
Hey, Peyton, did you want to take this test real quick, bro?
The test must be broken. It said, I got over 100 out of 68.
I got 100 out of 68. How did that happen?
Like, oh, shit.
That's not mathematically possible.
Yeah, you're right. Peyton, I have to agree with you on that.
How did this happen? How? How now, brown cow? I don't know.
What? You put it up there and it said, who farted? I was like, what?
What?
Literally, when you see the Google search bar on the top, you move the cursor over and yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who farted? Yeah, that's true.
He was Googling who farted.
Yeah, I was like, what
I
the
don't
fuck?
think Google's that good yet. I hope not.
Who farted?
Who farted?
Cheated in an elevator. Who farted?
Who farted?
Dude, I did. There was something I wanted to talk to you guys about because it creeped me the fuck out.
All right.
So have you watched like more than just a blurb from this big tech reveal thing that Zuckerberg did when he changed the name to Meta?
I had that all scheduled up for Abandon Hope, but I spent so much time on this one Ben Shapiro video that I pretty much never got to it. I only watched one video in that Abandon Hope, and it was still like 2.5 hours or 3 hours.
That's
But
pretty crazy.
no, I never did watch that. Do you want to watch it?
Sure.
We don't have to.
Yeah, I heard a lot of shit was. I heard a lot of shit about it was
It's so
kinda
creepy looking.
Yeah, I was like,
It is cringy. It's created a new type of content. Cringeepy. It's cringeepy, dude.
Cringeepy.
It's crapinge. Man, those words just don't portmanteau well.
Cringeepy.
Cringeepy, I think, is the best you're gonna get. But yeah, this is very strange and pretends a dystopia that I, quite frankly, do not want to live in.
come to the metaverse, Paul.
Join
You'll
us
like it here.
in the
Join us.
metaverse.
We shall exist together in the
A
metaverse.
place where people can pester you even when you're sitting alone in your home.
Paradise at last.
Soon we will broadcast our advertisements directly into your dreams.
Oh, by the way, before we get started on this, there's a small company called the Meta Company that was locked in like 8 months of negotiations with Facebook's lawyers to try and purchase all of their rights to the name and shit. And when these guys like held out and they were like, "Look, no, if you want our name, you're gonna have to pay us for it." Like they wouldn't meet their demands, and so Facebook just went ahead and did it anyway. And now these guys are suing.
We're Facebook. We'll win.
They're
in
like,
the end. Don't worry.
whatever the lawsuit is, we'll just pay it. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll beat
Yeah.
you.
We'll
take it.
Beat you in court.
Dude, it's great to be a giant company sometimes. It's like, yeah, well, see, we're holding out for that name. Yeah, fuck you. We're just
They
going to use
tried
the
for
name.
a couple of months, and then they were
I'm
just
an
like,
evil
"Fuck you."
oligarch.
Remember the founder? That's basically what Ray Kroc did in The Founder. He just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just do whatever I want. You can sue me, and then I'll give you a big check, and I win.
Yeah.
Welcome to Meta.
Oh my god, everything about this just radiates inhumanity.
Hey, and welcome to Connect.
Already,
No, I feel like I'm like in a Fallout game,
Can we
and I
watch
wake
that
up
transition again? Can we watch that transition
The
from
moment where he
Yeah.
goes from
where
unsigned.
the program boots up.
Hold on. I'm gonna
Hey, it's me.
play that at half speed. I want to see that transition.
It's so fucking weird, but oh my god, we got to listen to this droning tone now.
Sorry.
Oh Jesus. But yeah, that transition was just it says everything you need to know about this shit.
All right, here we go. We're getting to it here.
Yeah.
All right.
Unmute it. Unmute it.
Hey,
Hey, no.
Uncanny
What have I
Valley.
done?
Please, Uncanny Valley, leave me alone.
It's me, Mark Zuckerberg. How are
And
you
welcome
doing
to Connect.
today?
today we're going to talk about the metaverse. I want to
Awesome.
share what we imagine is possible. The experiences you'll have,
This dude must be a total narcissistic egomaniac because
Oh, 100%.
anybody like the fact that no one was able to come to him and say like, Mark, you're good at certain things, but like this whole like public face of the company thing, that ain't you. because you're a creepy little weirdo. All right.
He doesn't
You
want to
got
hear
a
that shit.
You got a strange looking
he's just-
face. You
he's-
got a strange looking fucking haircut. You literally look like a fucking nightmare version of Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Dude,
Well,
he's
he's
got
a Smith authoritarian asshole, dude. Of course.
that haircut is a common haircut. It's the I'm not balding LOL Caesar cut.
This is
He just kind of
I just have a really, really, really high hairline.
if you live in a tech area, like guys like Mark Zuckerberg are a dime a dozen the way they look.
I am Mark Zuckerberg.
Is there a woman that like
Zuckerberg.
has sex with him? He has like a
Yes.
wife or something?
Yes, he's
I mean, he's a
married.
billionaire, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, he's gonna get
Okay.
laid.
The creative economy we'll all build,
I don't know if it's worth
and the
it.
technology that needs to be invented, as well as how we're going to all do this together.
Cool. Do it.
The basic story of
We're gonna do it
technology in
together.
our
What do you need me to
All
do?
right, yeah.
is
skip
how
ahead.
it's given us the power
We
to
gotta see
express
some actual
ourselves.
metaverse.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it.
Look at that.
This is stunning.
Dude, that is something.
That's awesome.
I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappearing.
This is amazing.
Hold on. I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow. Brilliant.
If you guys like
So, you guys remember the movie? It's a terrible movie, and it was out recently. Ready Player One,
Yes.
where like society turned to like total shit, and everyone was living in like giant stacks of like trailers and shit, and like the environment had been destroyed, everything was shit, but everyone could escape into this like virtual world.
The
like a
metaverse.
Yeah, like a metaverse.
That's
So
what
it's
this
basically
is.
like, basically like we're just gonna do that. I think that movie was. I really believe that movie was just like preparation for like this is what you will do.
the environment has
This
been
is how you will live in
destroyed.
the future.
Biodiversity is broken.
Here
The
is what you will
The
accept.
planet rapidly heats up. All those horrible things, but the metaverse is great.
Hey, it's me.
your devices won't be the focal point of your attention anymore.
Yeah.
Instead of getting in the way, they're going to give you a sense of presence in the new experiences that you're having and the people who you're with.
Wow.
You'll be more connected by using devices.
It's like, look,
what?
you're not going to just be focused on a little screen. You're going to be living inside the screen now.
Well, yeah, well, that's basically what he says at the beginning of this when he first appears in this weird rendered environment. He's like, imagine your life being a collection, like a collection of things that are real and a collection of things that are impossible. Imagine that your view is whatever you want it to be. You know what I mean? And it's just like, but it isn't. It's not. You're living in a fucking trailer stacked on top of another trailer.
Ready for this after party?
Jumping in now.
What if there was an after party that anyone could go to, no matter where they were?
This is wild.
This is hideous.
Dude, that dude wants to fuck that like Barney.
yeah, he's
that
trying to-
dude
he's
right
trying to
there
fuck
is
that.
like-
Hey, giant dinosaur, you want to take me home and pound my ass?
You want to go
I
private?
sure do.
Let's go on private, dinosaur.
Check this out. Charity auction happening. Oh, there's swag.
And
NFTs,
when you go to
virtual
the
merch.
after
There
party,
you go.
You could connect with other fans, hear new versions of your favorite songs, and check out the
New
merch that
versions
just
of my
dropped.
favorite songs.
Ooh, I like.
What does that mean? What do you mean new versions? What do you mean new versions of my favorite songs? What do you mean new versions?
Like a
What,
remix.
what happened
I
to the
guess.
old versions?
They've now been changed
Can
for
I
the
still
metaverse.
can I still listen to the old versions?
No.
This
no,
is
you
you.
must now listen to the metaverse version.
In the metaverse, you are improved, TJ. The metaverse allows you to be whatever you think you are, TJ.
Wow. Finally.
That's
Oh, look at all
really living.
the social connections. This is entertainment. Then you got gaming.
Yeah.
You got game in the metaverse, you know?
To
play-
connect
play
last year.
games.
Sorcery, no.
I don't know, we're talking to this chick.
Grand Theft Auto,
Ah!
San Andreas.
Jesus Christ, why? Just look at him.
The metaverse.
Oh, you can't just do a hard cut to him like that. You got to like slowly transition in. So I can like,
Dude, it's like his
Like
haircut's
just-
like you're right. It's like a mix between like Julius Caesar and Page Boy TJ.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
like this little. I'm like, what is that? Like like he's a squire almost.
Yeah.
fitness. How about that? Get fit in the metaverse.
Oh, whatever, dude. From the lies I've been using about these products for years, you're gonna get fit.
Oh yeah. Oh no, now I got two hands or whatever.
Maybe you'll get some friends together for some 3-on-3. maybe play pickup with people on the other side of the world.
Yeah,
man, this is some bullshit. The gaming part is a lot
that
of
you
bullshit.
have your perfect work setup, and you.
Oh, you know it's a bunch of bullshit.
But this
better
type
and
of shit,
do more.
like when he gets into like the how your workplace is going to change shit, that last section, I genuinely believe this is the way that shit is heading, and it's fucking, to me, it's nightmarish.
Let me say.
But enough with the fun and games. It's time for everyone's favorite: work.
Okay, synth. Whatever you say.
Get back to work.
Everyone's favorite activity.
But enough of the nonsense,
Work.
fun and games. It is time for everyone's favorite: work.
Yes, Zuck. I am ready to work. The only
In the future,
means-
all will serve me. I mean, all will exist within my our metaverse.
I bet there's an outtake from this where they're like, Mark, you got to pick up the coffee cup. And he's like, I'm waiting for someone to pick it up for me.
It probably is.
Well,
Mark,
I mean,
no,
for
no,
the
no, no,
purposes of this, you gotta.
For the purposes of this, look, Mark, people at home, normal people, they pick up their own coffee mug. Oh.
You gotta do it to show how normal you are. How does it work? Like this? No, Mark, that's not right. That's not how you do it, Mark. I shall now drink a beverage like any human would.
Time to drink a beverage, TJ. Delicious.
Does it work through some process of osmosis?
I feel refreshed.
Okay, perhaps if I maybe, can someone help me with this?
Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence.
Imagine if you didn't have to be at the office.
Yeah.
You know, like that'd be
Imagine
cool.
if you lived in a nice house with that nice view, you wouldn't have it obscured by a bunch of office bullshit. You know what I mean?
Shared physical space. There's chance interactions that make
Fuck
your day
you. Get
all
out of my
accessible.
house, bitch.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, I'm now in your house.
Here I am. Here I am in your home. It's like, all right, that's awful.
From anywhere.
Swipe left.
Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup.
Wow.
And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
I'm gonna swipe left on Scott. Get out of here.
Good.
Get out of here.
Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
I'm physically here.
Yes.
I'm physically here. It's not yours.
We're in the metaverse. Go away.
Delete. Ow. The metaverse hurts.
I'm free now. Let's jump in.
Hi.
This sucks.
So it's basically like they're telling you you're going to have like the Star Wars meeting thing where you can have like
All
a
right.
hologram of yourself in the room, you know?
I mean, I guess it's neat and whatever, but commerce. What do we got here? This is like to sell shit.
You're going to sell way more shit
game.
in the metaverse.
You might buy a custom skin for your gaming avatar,
All right.
but you can't take it with you when you move to a new space. In the physical world, that would be the equivalent of buying your favorite.
I love how we create a world where anything is possible and they still charge you for shit. That's cool.
Yep. Well,
yeah.
of course, it's got to be monetized. The metaverse must be monetized, TJ.
I'm gonna give you some metaverse money.
Here it is, some virtual, meaningless metaverse monies.
It'll happen.
There
Oh,
you
100%
go.
is going to happen.
Metacoin.
sports team's jersey and never be able to wear it outside the stadium. In the future, you will be able to buy digital clothes for your avatar and then wear them into the metaverse more broadly.
Cool.
See,
now I need to
who
maintain
is
this.
Oh, finally.
Awesome. I finally now I get to maintain 2 different wardrobes and houses and everything because now you got your metaverse life and your real life, and you got to fucking split your coin between them. Awesome. Love it, guys.
I actually think the idea
Nope.
is long term more insidious than that, TJ. I think that the implication here is let your real life go to shit. Sit around in tattered
Oh my god,
rags.
you guys! Oh, dude, we destroyed the world.
Yep.
I mean, you get your trailer, you get your tattered rags, you get to sit.
Yeah, I'm doing great. God damn, this is horrible. I'm going into the metaverse where I'm a superstar.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Wow, I'm snazzy and everything's great here in the metaverse. Wow, plenty to eat here in the metaverse. My virtual tummy sure is full.
You can see your hunger gauge. Look at my hunger gauge is full, man. Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna go to that new crazy club and fuck a dinosaur, baby. Yeah, metaverse.
Hey, you know what? Maybe
Meanwhile,
it's not all bad.
Don't worry, your consciousness has been downloaded into the metaverse.
You shall be here forever. No!
You can work for Zuckerberg forever in the metaverse.
And you know what another terrifying angle on this is you know that this place is going to immediately stratify into classes of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's going to be like, most of us will just be like metaverse plebs that can't afford all the cool metaverse shit. And we won't even be able to get into the cool metaverse houses and go to the cool metaverse parties because we don't have enough Metacoin to do it, you know? And then, you know, we'll be shamed because we have default clothes on our avatars. And they're just going to make us fucking dirt fuck poor in the metaverse, too. You know what I mean? And everybody's going to, and it's going to be like, oh, well, one day I'll be able to go to that big mansion that I can see here from the meta slums. You know what I mean? It looks like it's fucking popping up there, but the meta police won't let me buy because I don't have a meta invitation, you know? Oh, fuck.
Do you have 10,000 meta credits loaded to your account?
No,
oh,
Paul.
no,
Hey,
I'm sorry. This
Paul,
area is locked to
It's
you.
not going to be like that at all. We're going to build the metaverse together, Paul.
Yeah.
So now Boz is going to join us to talk about what people are already building for the metaverse and what kinds of tools we can create to help out. Hey, Boz. I'm still kind of jealous of the robot avatar.
Hey,
And you
Boz,
gotta have
that
the
was a
robot when you're
really
working your
lame
dance moves,
fucking
right? Of course.
CGI demonstration thing that we had
But
you
Mark,
do.
we've been working on Facebook Reality Labs for a long time. But we always kept the same vision, which is that we want to build tools that help people feel connected anytime,
I am
anywhere.
interested in what you have to say. Say it well, or
what
you
you
will
gotta
be
do-
excluded from the new metaverse order.
What you got to do when you're talking, when you're a guy like this, you got to move your hands like this when you talk to communicate to Mark Zuckerberg that we're really changing things here in
Mark,
the
I want
metaverse.
you to have a lot of engagement, nodding a lot. You're very interested. Oh, yes. Oh, the metaverse. Oh, of course.
Setting head to auto nod.
Yes, that's very profound. Good thing I came up with all those ideas.
This is fun. Ha ha ha. We are good. All right, responsibility.
Okay,
y'all.
yeah, look.
It's not all fun and games. You gotta be responsible.
Thanks, Sue. So that's
Yeah,
some of the
thanks,
software
Sue.
platform that needs to
You know
get
what
built
this is
to
really
deliver the
about?
metaverse.
This is them going like, how do we sell people a sweater that only has to be made once? How do we endlessly sell people one sweater? How do we do it? Oh, let's make the world shit and let's invent a new virtual world where we can monetize a virtual sweater that everybody else can buy. And we only have to make the sweater once. Sell it 1,000,000 times.
Here you go.
Unless you want to buy an NFT
But
version of
there
the
are other
sweater.
important
Then
considerations
you
here too.
own the sweater on the blockchain.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
I
Nick.
hope I'm not interrupting. You got a sec? Have you got...
How you
Oh
gonna
my-
say? It's so natural.
You got a sec,
Hey, I'm
Mark.
not interrupting your this highly polished corporate propaganda here, Mark, but thought I'd just pop in and say pip pip cheerio and
Have you got Oppie with you?
I think Oppie's still in the virtual forest, but I always have time for you. What's going on?
I always have time for you, Nick.
My virtual dog is still running in the virtual forest right now, but my virtual life is going virtually well. How virtually are you today, Nick? Well, I'm virtually great,
Look,
too.
I just love the presentation so far. It's such visionary stuff.
Wow, so visionary.
Oh, Zuck, I just love you.
Mark Zuck.
Zuck, I know that it's quite sudden, but I'm subject to a sudden longing for you, Zuck.
You know this was his idea, too. And then, at this point in the presentation, we will have someone seemingly call me out of the blue to tell me how brilliant I am.
He will have a British accent. Americans respect British accents 12% more than American accents.
I just want to say that you're visionary.
I just want to say, as a British person that you've never heard of or seen before, visionary. What you're doing is, Mark.
Good on you.
I always have time for you, Nick, for we are friends. We share human bonds with one another.
And I care deeply for you.
If you were to die, I would cry for 6.9 nanoseconds. Ah!
But as you mentioned early on, with all big technological advances, there are inevitably going to be in all sorts of challenges and uncertainties. And I know you've talked about this a bit already.
This is like the
So, Mark, you know there's going to be challenges and uncertainties, like the potential for a dystopian nightmare world where we all escape into a fantasy realm as the real world crumbles into dust. How would you respond to those criticisms?
Let's see how he does it.
But people want to know how we're going to do all this in a responsible way, and especially that we play our
Gotta be
part
responsible
in
about
helping
it.
to keep people safe and protect
Hell
their privacy
yeah.
online.
Protect them.
Yeah, that's right. This is incredibly important.
The way I
Oh
look
my
at
God,
it is,
yeah, and Mark
Yeah,
Zuckerberg.
that's
If there's
right.
anybody I trust, if there's anybody I trust,
It's
you guys,
incredibly important.
Listen, you privacy and Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, like, no one respects privacy, guys, more than Facebook founder Mark fucking Zuckerberg.
I mean, they've
dude.
only endlessly been embroiled in scandal after scandal about leaking data and working with people,
You know what?
and selling data and just
A
giving
lot
all
of-
your data away to anyone that asks. Like, you have $1, and I'm like, hey, Mark, can I have everyone's data for $1?
a lot of Scotty, a lot of jealous people like to go around and spread lies about what Mark Zuckerberg does and what he's about, Scotty.
Yeah.
But he's a good man, Scotty. He's a good little robot.
that in the
he's got
past,
time for
the
you.
are right,
speed that
TJ.
new technologies
That's incredibly
emerge sometimes left
important.
policymakers
I always have time for you, TJ. You are my friend. Thanks, Mark. You're my friend, too.
You know that
There's
I have
regulators
always
playing catch-up.
maintained an open metaverse policy.
So on the
Thanks,
one hand, companies get accused of charging ahead too quickly, and on the other,
Oh,
tech
okay,
people feel
okay. So all the heat they're getting basically is like they're just too visionary and too brilliant
Yeah,
and too
it's-
bold.
look, you know-
Fortune favors the bold, as they say,
Listen
Mark.
here, Scotty. When a company is just so visionary and just plows forward with such immense forward progress, just changes and revolutionizes the world.
Luddites are left behind, scratching their head.
A lot of stupid buffoons are just left in the dust. And, go, and we have to grab them by their stupid little hands and guide them into the future like the simpletons they are.
A bright and glorious future in the metaverse.
You and I both know, Mark, that sometimes a man's genius burns so brightly that the world recoils from it at first. And we know that to be the case with you, Mark. Your genius is burning so brightly that
Dude.
people are adverse to it, Mark.
Remember when Mark Zuckerberg was like thinking about running for like office and he was like doing that weird like tour America shit?
Yeah.
And he like met with like a bunch of like farmers and truckers and shit. And the photos came out. It was just like, he's just like, I too am a normal human. It's like, all right.
I like trucks.
Building the next device to unlock the metaverse with this chick, I guess.
So, what do you think is the most exciting thing that we're working on right now?
That's
Hard to
easy.
say, Mark. I mean, we're trying to fuck the average person so many ways. I don't know which hole is my
hard to
favorite.
say. You know, we have such an exciting pipeline. But next year,
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that
Oh,
pipeline
man.
too.
Yeah.
I bet you are.
we are releasing a new product that'll push the boundaries of VR even further.
There you go.
We've codenamed it Project Cambria.
So, this isn't the next
Project
Quest.
Labia?
It's going
What's
to be
happening?
compatible with Quest. But Cambria will be a completely new, advanced, and high-end
Project
product.
Labia.
And it'll be at the higher end of the price
Whoa.
spectrum, too.
Whoa. As much as I criticize this shit, I'm pretty much going to do all this shit. So I can't really fucking say too
Everybody,
much.
you're gonna have to. That's
I
the
mean, like,
point. That's why this is so terrifying.
Yeah, you got no pretty much no choice.
You
Like,
must
all right, here you
enter
go.
the metaverse.
Here's the
TJ.
world you shall now live in. What is this part? This is what will make the metaverse feel real. Okay.
This is where we have like a psychologist come on and
Let me
explain to
guess.
us how they're going to manipulate us into feeling like
Cool.
we're doing something.
Michael Abrash leads this team, and he's going to join me to talk about some of the future technology that we're developing.
Dope.
Hey, Michael, do you want to take everyone through our roadmap?
Sure.
Sure.
That covers a lot of ground, though. It's going to take about a dozen major technological breakthroughs to get to the next generation metaverse, and we're working on all of them. Displays, audio, input, haptics, hand tracking, eye tracking, mixed reality sensors, graphics, computer vision, avatars, perceptual science, AI, and more.
So natural. I just like, it's.
We just have to make a few small breakthroughs, and we'll be there.
Can we just get some motherfucking health care, please? Can we get some motherfucking health care and some breathable air, please?
You know what? You can, Paul. You can get some health care. If your avatar gets sick in the metaverse, there will be doctors, meta doctors, to treat your meta illness.
Only if you have enough meta coin, though.
Yeah.
As your avatar gets more and more ill, your movement speed around the metaverse will be slower and slower, and more people, less and less people will be able to see and hear you. It will be almost as if you are disappearing.
Slowly.
And then the final thing is the next chapter, you guys. All right.
I believe the metaverse is the next chapter.
Oh, you gotta fucking warn me, man.
Come on, Mark. Fuck.
Quit jumping out like that. It's a...
And it's the next chapter for our company, too. So I've been thinking a lot about what this means for our company and who we are as we embark on this journey.
What is this thing I'm looking at?
We're a company that focuses on connecting people.
He's even jarring when he jump cuts from himself.
They make the jump cuts intentionally jarring. Like, how do you go from a dude standing by a desk to halfway down the stairs in the middle of a sentence?
Most other tech companies focus on how people interact with technology. We focus on building technology so people can interact with each other.
That's him back there.
One of the reasons I started
there in a second
was that at the time you could use the internet to find almost anything. Information, news, movies, music, shopping, except for the thing that matters most of all, people. Today, we're seen as a social media company.
Today, we're seen as a social
media company who's done a lot of horrible things.
In our DNA, we're a company that builds technology to connect people.
No.
And the metaverse is...
No, you're a
Let
company...
us connect.
You're a company that builds technology to monetize human existence. That's what you are. Just admit it. That's what this whole fucking presentation is about. It's about monetizing human existence.
100%. I mean, that's all Facebook is. I mean, and total invasion of your privacy.
No, we are working very hard to protect your online privacy, Scotty.
We care deeply.
Comments are turned off. Like and dislike is turned off. Because what matters the most is people, but not their opinions about Facebook. I mean, metaverse, or whatever we are now. Meta.
We
are meta. Meta is better.
The future is here, TJ.
Welcome. The tiger and the buffalo. What is this?
This is how you will experience life in the metaverse.
It's going to be
Here
another
is how
metaverse.
you will experience a gallery in the metaverse.
Here is how you currently experience the gallery.
The tiger
Boring
symbolizes me. The buffalo symbolizes you.
This is the dimension of imagination.
Whoa. Fuck that boring ass painting. Turn that painting into TV. Damn it. Yeah.
So instead of getting to quietly walk around a gallery and look at great works of art, we're going to get to see shittily produced CG toucans fucking dancing to shitty fucking royalty-free.
I can't wait till I go to the fucking,
yeah, this is great.
Let's go to the Louvre and watch the Mona Lisa fucking take a bong rip or whatever the fuck.
I can't wait till she twerks again.
Now it's time for me to twerk.
All right, you're starting to sell me on the metaverse. Stop.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
Wait a minute. I'm going to go to the fucking Louvre.
This is way more banal than the joke that we're making, okay?
Well, they can't. I mean, the problem with Facebook is they can't really sell the metaverse because they're trying to fucking make it seem like this really, like, you know. But, like, you know, honestly, like, the metaverse, there's going to be all kinds of crazy shit. It's going to be fun in a lot of ways, but it's going to be horrible in most.
Reality is boring and horrible. Retreat into our website further.
Like, this technology could be great, but the society it's coming up in is just a piece of shit.
Well, and the reasons it's coming up, it's not coming up, like they say, to add functionality to our lives. It's coming up to distract us from what a shithole the world is becoming and will continue to become. And that's like, that's why it's insidious instead of fucking exciting.
Listen, you can eat, as you eat your supplement cylinder, we will send signals to your brain to communicate that you are eating a juicy, delicious steak.
It's gonna happen.
This is horrible. Put on your augmented. Oh yeah, now I
love it.
Love this now. Yeah, twerking flamingos. I agree with her. I agree with her expression. It's just like,
they're like, yeah, I like the twerking flamingos.
Why didn't they make a single one of these people look excited about this new development that they're going to unleash on our lives?
Yeah, they look pretty much like exactly like they're looking at this nightmare happen.
Yeah, they look pissed
That's
off.
what it is.
Yeah, I mean, look at them.
Look at them.
What is going on? This is
What?
I'm scared. Help me.
They're supposed to actually enjoy this? Is this going to be fun?
No, it isn't.
It's going to be terrifying.
Facebook is now Meta,
Dude.
bitch.
Well, I have no interest in the metaverse.
Comments are turned off. Comments are turned off, and you can't tell them whether you like or dislike.
Well, you got to be honest, too. I mean, they even said it in the presentation. Like,
Nothing.
for this to be their actual vision is, I mean, they don't have the technology yet.
Scotty, nothing matters more than people, Scotty. We are a company built
We must
on
monetize
connecting
these people.
Scotty, people, Scotty.
We noticed, TJ, that you only sleep 7.3 hours per day on average. Not getting enough sleep, TJ? Perhaps a sleep supplement will help you. A new pillow, a new bed?
TJ, it is 9 p.m. Time to go to sleep now. I don't want to. The metaverse says it's time for you to sleep.
You shall sleep.
All technology and social media turned off until you sleep for 8 hours. Then you must work for 8 hours. Then you may play for 8 hours.
Yeah, that's what
Damn
it's
it,
leading
metaverse.
to. Time to stop
Damn
playing
you.
metaverse games. Time to go to meta work.
Time to work now.
Crunch
Time
those
for your
meta
pace.
numbers for 12 hours.
Pleasure time is done. We will now co-opt your brain to run our calculations.
Just sitting there like,
We will use the combined processing power of every human brain to run our giant quantum network. We will discover the mind of God.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's our future.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And a bright future it shall be.
And a bright, shining future it is, Paul Zigo.
Isn't it gonna be fun?
8 Dead at Houston Music Festival, Panic Stampede.
Dude, that's
Travis
fucking. That
Scott
shit is
plays
fucking
on.
crazy.
What? This happens?
So
you didn't hear about this, dude?
This is at Astrofest in Houston, and this rapper Travis Scott had like a big concert there. It's one of the like first big post-COVID concerts in the area. So there's just this huge crush of people that went to it. They actually broke down the gates to get into it. There was a mini stampede earlier in the day where people just like literally just broke down the barriers and just ran into it. And then when Travis Scott hit the stage, what's called a crush happened.
Right.
A crowd
I've
crush.
seen it.
And so the people that were pushed up against the barriers and shit were basically just like trampled. So what happens is like people get crushed, and then eventually somebody falls over dead or unconscious. And then there's like this huge cavity opens up around the dead person or dying person, but that creates another crush that sends waves through the crowd. And then there's counter crushes and more people get crushed underfoot and fill the cavity. And then that cavity fills in with more bodies. So that's what happened. Somebody, the crush happened, somebody dropped, and you'd think like the normal human reaction would be, oh shit, get back from this guy. But that sent waves throughout the crowd that reverberated, and a bunch of people were pushed into that hole that was made, and then
because everyone's
trampled.
pushing one way.
Right.
Most everyone, like, I mean, all of us have been to a concert.
Well,
for
it's like a wave. It's not just one way. It's like it's like water. When you disturb it one way, it bounces off the barrier and ripples back through the fucking crowd.
Yeah, I'm saying like what happens is my experience of these concerts. I've never been to one like where this has happened, but it's just like you just have a crush of people go forward and then have a crush of people push back, and it goes back and forth. And if people fall, usually you can get them picked up. But if everyone's like just trying to crush forward is like that,
well,
I mean, there's no chance.
These are not people that were used to a pit concert. These are like kids that are into a rapper, right? And so, like, at a fucking metal concert, if you've ever been to one, like, you learn how to fucking deal with this shit. So at a every metal concert I've ever been to, if somebody drops, there are like 10 people there to pick them up.
Oh, yeah,
nobody
for
wants
sure.
to see anybody get trampled, and there's pit control that happens where people on the edge of the pit keep the pit contained to keep these crushes from happening and shit, because nobody wants this to happen. But these people were not experienced.
They weren't pit ready.
They weren't
They had no pit
experienced in that type of shit. And so when it started happening, people started panicking. And because there were so many people packed in, the panic grew and grew, and people started lashing out, and then it became a fucking
Yeah, people just need to be re-educated on how to fucking be in a
you know what it is? You know what it really is?
I've been in these crowds where there's a crush. I've fallen over one of them crowds where there was a crazy crush going on because there was like the crowd swayed this way and swayed that, and I lost my footing, and it was immediately I knocked down a bunch of people too.
I'm telling you, dude. After a couple of years,
everyone stopped and helped each other. Hey, get up. You know, it's like
Dude, people avoiding crowds just for a few years. I think there's such a generational shift too. It's like people are a lot more wary, a lot more social anxiety about like being around a lot of people. And then you suddenly have 50,000 people go that, normally might not ever, like you're right, Paul, might normally never attend an event like this. It's like people just start pushing and shoving, and like that's why you get stampedes.
You don't have 8 people die at a concert unless you had an audience that didn't know how to fucking handle pits.
Oh, I know, dude. Me and TJ were Voodoo Fest. I mean, they at least have 50, 60,000 people go to those things, and I can't even think of that ever happening before. So it just shows you the difference. I mean, you definitely hear about this in other countries. Sometimes like huge like religious festivals where there's like 10 million people or 1 million people, and there's a street and people start running. Dude, it does happen sometimes.
Let me see if I can find this shit. There was this like harrowing account. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll read a little bit of it to you. I saw it on Twitter today.
I saw some stuff on Twitter too of just the crush of people, and you just see people just like who are like a lot of times you're like, yeah, I want to be on that barrier. It's like being on that barrier was basically just like getting just like shoved into a piece of metal that you couldn't move.
So here's the account. I'll read a little bit of this to you guys. So who I am in this story is not important. Rather, it's important the things I have now witnessed. Astro World, Houston, Texas. Travis Scott is the only one performing. I don't know how many people were at the festival, but I do know that every single person was at that stage. My friend and I wanted to be close to the stage, as close as we could possibly get. We were not able to get super close, but we did end up on the side near the walkway in the middle. Surrounding us were chest-high metal gates called barriers. We stood there for 2 hours, as did every other person. Every gap was filled. Where your feet were placed was where they stayed. Energy rose as the time neared beginning the show. Within the first 30 seconds of the first song, people began to drown in other people. There were so many people, tall men, women and men, where the only thing that they could see was the back of the person in front of them. The rush of people became tighter and tighter. Breathing became something only a few people in the crowd were capable of. The rest were crushed or unable to breathe properly in the thick, hot air. My friend began to gasp for breath, and she told me we needed to get out. We tried. There was nowhere to go. The shoving got harder and harder. If someone's arms were thrown up, it was no longer possible to put them down. So people began to choke one another as the mass swayed. It became more and more violent. We began to scream for help. We could see security just a few people over in the walkway in the middle. It got tighter, more impossible to breathe as our lungs were compressed between the bodies of those surrounding us. More people began to scream for help. The music continued. Hundreds of people ripped their vocal cords apart, screaming for help, but we were not heard. There was nowhere to go. My friend was trapped between people on every side of her, and she desperately tried to move towards the rail, but it was no use. The screaming intensified as more and more people realized they could not breathe. We begged security to help us, for the performer to see us, and to know something was wrong, but none of that came. We continued to drown. More and more, one person fell or collapsed. It didn't matter how it started, but once one person fell, a hole opened up in the ground. It was like watching a Jenga tower topple. Person after person got sucked down. You could not guess from which direction the shove of hundreds of people would come next. You're at the mercy of the wave. So, I mean, this is just like, it goes on, but this is just fucking terrifying situation to be in.
Well, here's a dude that I guess...
Yeah, some people...
Here's a guy talking about... He was there. He's talking about what he witnessed, I guess. And a lot of people said this is an interesting account, so...
Yourself, and you move with it becomes like an organism.
Yeah, these were fans early when they were all sneaking in. They trampled everything.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is that the one when they broke the gate, right? So, and there's kids buried under the gate.
I remember me, him, and a couple other our friends. We were just hanging on to each other because
we were
once you get separated, it's
lost.
It's lost.
It was McDonald's. thing. What does it say on it? It does not say McDonald's. It says something else. I can't read it.
So when he falls, I would come back to pick him up. Yeah. If I would fall, he'd come back and pick me up. It's not a one-man show. It's really everybody.
I wasn't. You were hanging on to each other because if you let go, you.
Yeah, if you let go, it's like because you could easily drift apart. It's like being in water. It's weird. You literally just drift apart in the crowd. And I ended up in the middle of the crowd. And mind you, us four, we stay here together. We were separated the whole day. And I ended up seeing this guy in the middle. And while I was in the middle, you know, obviously everybody's opening up mosh pits. We're having a good time. But there's a lot of people that are very selfish. There's people that I saw a pit that was being held together by people. But because in the pit was people that fell. So they were standing together to help the people get up. And I witnessed somebody unconscious struggling to get out. Like their friends were trying to get him out, and just people weren't caring enough to like make a path. So as I'm a 400-pound guy, so I jump in because that's just my instinct. And I just make a path for him. And on my way back to the middle, I meet a girl that's hyperventilating. So it said, like, you know, I couldn't tell her, hey, calm down. I immediately just grab her, and I'm rushing back. And, you know, closer to the VIP section, that's when EMS was doing what they were doing with those visuals.
It's a struggle because it's not you.
Yeah, it sounds like there's like a bunch of people there that don't really understand, like, pit etiquettes or like how to function as part of this like crowd.
Yeah, I mean that guy had to jump in. Luckily, he's a big dude, so he was able to jump in and help him. Because I mean, otherwise, it's crazy in those places.
Like a lot of these big kind of tragic things that happen, this is a multi-stage failure. So yeah, a bunch of people in the crowd not having the right kind of experience in these types of shows. But the organizers of this event, they needed a music stoppage to stop the crowd crush, and they ignored it. That account that I was reading from that person, that lady that was there, it goes on to talk about how she made her way to one of the camera towers because at some point she saw just layers of people that were stacked on top of each other being stepped on and stepped over and shit. She went over to one of the camera operators that was filming this shit and was like, you've got to fucking get on your walkie-talkie and tell them to stop this. There are people dead down there. She's like, people are dying. Seriously, people are dead already down there, and there's more going to die.
They're being crushed. Yeah,
this dude literally told her, and there's video of the event. If you don't know the context, you can't really tell. But it shows the woman climbing up that thing, and the dude allegedly told her, like, I'm going to throw you off this. She was on a 15-foot tower. He's like, I'm going to throw you off this fucking camera tower if you don't leave. So the people at this fucking event had no regard for the safety of the people in the fucking crowd. The artist had no regard for the safety of the people in the crowd. He was calling for this shit. Make a fucking mosh pit. So he got everybody all riled up. Travis Scott is actually known for this. It's a little known fact, but Travis Scott is known for like going into these venues and having people get fucking violent. He was actually arrested for telling people at a venue, I think in New York City, to climb the barriers.
Well, the attorneys in this area are fucking, and in Houston are just itching for this to come up because these people are going to be sued into oblivion. The promoter of the event, Travis Scott's going to be, all these people are going to be sued, 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean,
the production companies involved.
I've heard of people dying in pits before. It does happen, but like I've never heard. I can't remember the last time I heard of something like with 8 people fucking being dead.
Well, this is
it just shows you like empathy too. I mean, when you're in this thing, it's like it becomes like
the dude said there was like pits.
He said there was like a pit, but
I'm not saying, but it's like dog eat dog. It's like you're gonna literally climb on somebody else because like fuck, I don't want it to happen to me. It's just like this.
The people didn't die in the pit. The people died because of the crowd crush that happened. So it wasn't the people that were in the pits. It was the people at the edges of the pits that were pushed up against these fucking barriers that as these pits grew and got more raucous and moved around the fucking audience were crushed into smaller and smaller spaces until people were standing on people.
Yeah.
You and a clear path.
I mean, I've been in these crowds before where literally neither of my feet was touching the ground and I was held up just by the people.
Yeah, that does happen.
I'm a fucking 6'6" dude. So if that happens to me, I know it's happened to plenty of other people in those pits.
Yep.
It's you and then the person next to you wanting to have fun.
Or the crowd.
The person across from him wanting to fight some random person. And it's everybody for themselves where if I see that you're saying, oh, I want to leave, I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah.
I'm saying back up.
People wait for you to have this look of concern to do something, right? When you should just take their word seriously. You know, like not for nothing. Like it is a fun event, but there's just people that careless people that just come and ruin it.
That's like this.
You know.
Well, in the front, there was definitely a lot of jumping. If you didn't jump, you were going to fall. And you would get trampled on, definitely.
Dude, how did you get through that fucking thing without getting your chain snatched, bro?
Yeah, good question.
I see that thing sparkling.
Maybe he tucked it.
Yeah.
He probably tucked it.
But still.
Pushing back and forth, like, you needed to... If you were even a little bit tired, you were going to fall. It was just too insane.
I mean, they probably just got through by the fact they were all together and just pushing, because it's all you can do in that. And you almost have to literally become like water, because you're right, because you get like pushed around. Like if you don't go with what the crowd is doing, you're knocked the fuck down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, there's like the dude said earlier, it's like being in water. It is. It's like if you're up to your chest in like ocean water.
You're going with the ocean.
You're going with where the ocean goes.
So you got to go with that crowd. Like people saying like they have to leave and they're panicking and shit. Like you can't. You ain't going no fucking where. There's nowhere to go. You're gonna have to wait till that crowd calms down if you're gonna leave.
So my buddy was there and he was already passing out. I saw him. I noticed him on someone's back, and then right away he said that he wanted to go, and I just helped him out right away.
Was he passing out from people crushing him forward?
He just looked very tired. I think it was from people because there was too much pressure. You barely had like breathing space.
At these festivals, when you're up there, they have hydration stations.
Yeah.
Where you fill up your Camelback. But when you're up there for hours and you run out of water, that walk back is it's a fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
I've been in these situations.
Every festival I've been
I've never been in one where people were killed, so I guess I don't really know what the conditions like this one were like, but I've been in some pretty crazy fucking concert shit. So
you know as well as I do, when that headliner plays, everyone just pushes forward because everyone that's in the back's like, I want to be in the front now.
The crowd really, like you got to fucking have some sort of like go with the flow with it, because like whichever way it pushes you, you can't fight against it. You know, you're not gonna be able to stand your ground against an entire wave of people. You gotta fucking go with whatever it's doing.
Dude, this is a crazy new update.
Oh yeah, what'd you find?
Houston authorities are about to further address the tragedy at Astroworld. More disturbing videos are surfacing, which clearly show people were attempting to flag down festival personnel in any capacity to get them to stop the show. Yeah, that's the girl climbing up. They were saying more people. I don't know, man. There's just it's like so much crap is coming out. But this here's like what I clicked on said a source connected to Astroworld tells TMZ someone in the crowd went crazy and began injecting people with some sort of drug.
Whoa.
Man, with these big events, I would hold out for more confirmation on stuff, because you hear a lot of stuff about these events, especially
it's just
something
crazy.
Like this.
It's just crazy to hear some of the stuff. Let's see. What many will be looking for is whether there's any evidence to suggest the 8 people who've died thus far might have been triggered into cardiac arrest via outside influence or a third party, namely a would-be culprit who is going around injecting folks with a syringe.
I mean, that would be crazy as fuck.
If there was a motherfucker injecting people into the fucking crowd, that's fucking totally nuts.
Yeah, like, let me induce heart attacks in people. I mean, like, I don't know. That sounds pretty far-fetched, but I don't know. I mean, you can't rule anything out at this point. I mean, this just happened.
That's
so
some crazy shit for sure.
I mean, obviously, they'll do autopsies on the people that died during this event. So if they all died of a heart attack triggered by some substance, I mean, I think that's not something you're going to miss.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Really weird. Well, is that a grease trap, gentlemen?
I guess so.
I guess it is.
All right, we trapped the grease.
Deep bad fight. Deep bad fight.